guys joining us tonight. This is our 4th Hall of Fame induction event in this current format. It's actually our 2nd event in the last 6 months as we try to transition this event to the fall going forward. So we appreciate you being here. We have alumni weekend celebrations all weekend. Tomorrow we have an alumni social event, and then a bunch of, actually all our teams, except for golf and esports, have events going on Friday and Saturday. So tonight's event is to celebrate 4 Madison College Athletics Hall of Fame individual inductees. And we're thrilled to have everybody back and join us tonight for that celebration. First, I'd like to thank some people, especially 2 of my colleagues who helped bring you tonight's event. And that's Adam Eichstad and Chris Mills. So if you want to appreciate the work. Secondly, I want to recognize a few Madison College administrators and special guests who are currently here in attendance, and some that will be here later on tonight. The college has so many events going on, and it just so happens to be there's another event at the college tonight at the same time. So we're going to have some people coming in a little bit later. My former boss and current vice president of student success pathways, Tina, she was here and then had to go to another event at the Goodman Complex. Right now, CEO of our Madison College Foundation, Brian Woodhouse, and his wife Jana are here, which is awesome. So, also the other guy that was sitting at my table is a creative manager in marketing communications in our Madison College Athletics photographer and a good golfer, Matt Ammerman. So coming later tonight, our brand new Madison College president. She just started in July. Dr. Jennifer Byrne will be here later on tonight. I just wanted to kind of give it ahead of time so as they're coming in, we're not getting in the middle of any presentations. Our Executive Vice President of Policy and Strategy, Mark Thomas, will be here later, and our college provost, Beth Giles. So we appreciate all of them being here and supporting what we do in athletics. I also extend a big thank you to current and past college staff members in attendance. So we appreciate all their support of Madison College Athletics. We are here tonight to proudly celebrate our 2025 inductees in the Madison College Hall of Fame. Before we do that, I would like to quickly recognize our hard-working staff in the athletics department. And I'm incredibly fortunate to get to work with a phenomenal group of staff and coaches on a day-to-day basis. Every day they come to work to make our student-athlete experience extraordinary. Staff and coaches, when your name is called, if you want to stand or if you want to wave so people know who you are. Just FYI, I listed everybody alphabetically by their last name so you'll kind of know when your turn's coming up. So first on that list, a guy that we celebrated a whole lot last year because it was his 50th year. And so Gary Big Dog Brenneman, where are you? Say something?
Thank you for inviting me tonight.
Heck yeah, we were on So, Big Dog, Mike Davenport, our brand new esports interim coach. He couldn't be here tonight, but Ty Dillon, Adam Eichstad in the back, who I mentioned earlier. Logan Fye, who coaches our men's and women's soccer team. Our men's team is currently undefeated. Crazy enough. Leo Kalinowski. Bill Pedler. Mills, who I mentioned earlier. Jamal Palmer, next slide. Jamal Palmer. Jason Roscoe. Chris O'Leary. Mallory Stone cannot be here tonight. We have a new addition to our Wolfpack family. Just in the past, what was it? Yeah, it's about a week and a half. So Mallory just gave birth to a baby boy. So we have a new Wolfpack fan, little Wolfpack fan. So she couldn't be here, but she texted me before to say hi to everybody. Mike Van Bagel. If you come to a baseball game, you'll hear that name 25,000 times. So, Angel Whetstone. Again, big round of applause for our awesome athletic department staff and coaches. So tonight we're inducting 4 individuals and 3 former student athletes and 1 coach into our current group of 115 inductees in the Madison College Athletics Hall of Fame. This group of inductees has undoubtedly made a huge impact on Madison College athletics, so I'm not going to waste any time and we'll get right into it. So, our first inductee tonight is Angie Bleck, Hoefs. Hoefs. I had it written down. Okay. So in presenting for Angie tonight is her son Vaughn, and her dad Greg is going to come up as well. So the floor is yours.
So this is Barney. This is Angie's son, and I was planning on doing this, but yesterday actually. He volunteered. He said, I want to do this. And I said, well, okay. But you got to audition first. So I sent him the script. And got him the phone, and he read it flawlessly. Better than I did. So I said, you're hired. So he's gonna handle all the awards and the features of Angie's career as a Wolfpack. I'm just going to mention that her whole family can't be here tonight because her daughter is playing volleyball. So it's a volleyball family, and actually, well, that's true. This is the basketball guys, the soccer guys. But also, Angie just celebrated her 15th wedding anniversary, and her and her husband met playing volleyball. So it kind of runs in the blood. So anyhow, we're going to let Monty take over here, and he's going to give you all the highlights of Angie's career here as a Wolfpack. So are you ready to go? The mic is yours.
We know tonight's first inductee was doing things at the Hall of Fame level when more than 2 decades after she wore a Wolfpack jersey. Her name still appears 18 times in the Madison College record books. A standout at Verona Grove High School, Angie Hoefs left as lasting impact in her 2 years playing volleyball for the Wolfpack. As the sport of volleyball made its changes into the rally scoring sport we know today, Angie found ways to demonstrate her full arsenal of talent. As a freshman in 2001, the 5'9" middle blocker and setter was part of a young Wolfpack team that featured 8 freshmen and just 2 sophomores. She paced the team with 334 kills and 231 attack percentages. 68 aces, and 124 blocks, while also sitting near the top with 249 assists and 191 digs for her play. Angie received a bevy of postseason awards, including the team's most valuable player, first team All-WTCC, WJCAA, All-State, and All-Regional 13. After a 12-18-5 record their first year at Madison College, Angie and her fellow returners were ready to make a statement in the 2002 season. Behind an impressive 14-match win streak and carried the momentum to a WTCC title with a percent all their best finishes ever in Region 13, taking runner-up honors in the eventual national champions. The year ended with an improved 21-7-3 mark and a number 11 ranking in the nation. Once again, Angie's name was mentioned on several awards lists as she not only repeated as team MVP, but also took home the team's Hustle Award and served as team captain. Also repeated as the first team All-WTCC, WJCAA All-State, and All-Region 13 selections, while adding an All-Regional 13 All-Tournament honor to the list of accolades. As a sophomore, Angie topped many statistical categories for the Wolfpack, posting 278 kills and 307 hitting efficiency, 54 aces and 259 digs. She was also second with 112 blocks and added 25 assists. At Madison College, Angie's career quickly demonstrated her wide array of abilities and departed with a school record of 612 kills and 236 blocks and 122 aces. The blocks record still stands to this day, and many likely never be touched. And Angie still ranks 4th in aces, 5th in kills, and 7 kill percentages, 21st in digs, and 23rd in assists. She also still lists near the top of many single seasons and single match records. Angie was truly one of the best volleyball players I have ever had the privilege to coach, stated from Madison College assistant volleyball coach Denise Stanfley. Her footwork and her hand skills were exceptional, along with her work ethic and presence on the court. She played the game with a level of intensity and understanding that you rarely see, especially at that time. Watching her compete was something special, and having her on the team made everyone around her better. Angie earned Wisconsin Technical College Conference Academy All-Conference recognition as a sophomore before transferring crosstown to NCAA Division III Edward College, where she continued to excel on the volleyball court. Angie earned back-to-back first team all-conference honors for the Eagles. Following college, Angie has spent most of her time working with our younger generations. She spent 6 years teaching 4K, 2 years with the Boys and Girls Club, and is currently in her 7th year as a kindergarten teacher in the Black River Falls School District. Angie and her husband Vaughn live in Sparta, Wisconsin, where they had they were raising 2 kids, Paige and me. In her free time, she enjoys swimming, reading, and playing with her kids. When asked about her time in Madison College, Angie said it was a great experience and she provided some lasting friendships. I grew as a person and learned valuable leadership skills. And at this time, please join me to congratulating Angie Bleck on her induction into the Madison College Athletic Hall of Fame.
I don't take after my son. I hate public speaking, but I do want to thank everyone for the honor. MATC was a wonderful experience for me. I made friends I still have now, and it was just a great experience. Assistant coach, that was like a best friend. Denise was really one of my favorite people when I was there. So I appreciate this honor, so thank you.
So congratulations, Angie and Vaughn, man. That was awesome. I'm gonna just put you in charge here. So our second inductee tonight is Stephen Foulks. Presenting for Steve is his dad, Bob. So Bob, come on up.
I don't know if I get stuck, I know where I'm turning. I didn't get to rehearse this one, but you probably did just Our next inductee plays a selfless style of soccer that has not only stood the test of time, but also proved to be worthy indicator of the type of person he would come to be. Stephen Foulks, a soccer and hockey star at Madison West High School, helped keep the Madison College men's soccer program relevant on a regional and national scale. The 2003 Wolfpack soccer team featured a roster of 21 brand new players and the return of a former coach looking for someone to step up as a leader. Stephen had been out of the game, out of the school for the past 5 years, proved to be that person and more, serving as a team captain and leading Madison College to a 10-1-3 record on the regular season, which included an undefeated run to the 6th consecutive Wisconsin Technical College Conference Championship. In addition to claiming the WJCAA State Championship, Stephen and the Wolfpack found himself in the Region 13 title match against in-state rival Milwaukee Area Technical College. Tied 1-1 in overtime, the midfielder sent the Wolfpack to victory with an OT golden goal. Then at the NJCAA, isn't that new? I need to that one. District Championship, Stephen netted his 4th postseason goal to stake the number 14 ranked Madison to an early 1-0 lead over perennial power Richland College, which Steve will tell you they never should have done because it made them angry. However, it was not enough in a 5-1 loss, 1 game shy of the national tournament. Stephen led the team with 11 goals and 11 assists, earning all-conference, all-state, all-region accolades, as well as becoming just the 2nd player in program history to receive NJCAA All-American recognition with a 2nd team selection. Stephen's selfless play really showed through during the sophomore season, which turned into an up-and-down year for the Wolfpack. The second-year captain helped Madison College persevere through some tough times to finish 11-8. He ended the year with the team best 12 assists and added 5 goals. Steve was rewarded with repeat honors of all-conference, all-state, and all-region. Over his 2 years in a Wolfpack kit, that's soccer, Stephen led his team to a combined record of 24-10 3 championships, and more than 20 years later, he still holds the program's all-time record for assists with 23, while also sitting 7th with 55 total points and tied for 15 in career goals with 16. This is from his coach, who's right over there. Stephen Foulks will be forever remembered as the all-everything, all-American soccer midfielder extraordinaire. He attacked and defended with equal determination and a creative drive that led his team with zeal and charisma, while leaving opponents perplexed. His stinging shot left goalies' hands throbbing and game balls wrapped around the goals, to add an exclamation to his amazing finishes. If ever there was a player that possessed a game-winning attitude to make a coach smile, opponents tremble, and teammates proud, it was Stephen Foulks. Steve's selfless nature lent itself perfectly to his career choice to become an everyday hero, and he is. He spent the past decade as a firefighter in Madison, his hometown, where he still lives with his wife Katie and it's not in here, but if I don't say it, I'll be in big trouble. And Bassett named Buddy, who owns the home. His love for competition and exercise and squash would be day through hockey and biking. When asked about his own time at Madison College, Steve said, after a 5-year break from soccer following high school, Madison College gave me the chance to compete at a high level. That opportunity reignited my passion for the sport and set the foundation for the next 20+ years of my soccer career. So at this time, please join me in congratulating great guy, Stephen Foulks, on his induction to the Madison College Hall of Fame.
So we got Stephen. So Logan ordered these new scarves for when Stephen was playing, it was not Madison College. It was still the Wolfpack. Yeah, it was just MATC, but we thought we'd have to give him a scarf so he could do it.
And thank you very much for this honor. Like Angie, this has been a terrifying experience to have when we were talking to you guys. So I have to thank my parents, obviously, for for growing up and carting me around. I have to thank my teammates and my coaches. My coach for being here. He obviously pushed for me to get the awards that I got. And I need to thank Madison College for putting on this event, and also just for the experience that I had playing soccer there. So thank you very much for the award, and tip your bartenders.
All right, congratulations, Steve. Our third inductee this evening is Angie Russell, his former coach, and another Madison College Hall of Famer, Leo Kalinowski, who will present for Andy tonight.
Our third inductee tonight turned his natural athleticism into a true love affair of the sport of baseball. In return, baseball gave Andy Russell a pair of national championships at Madison College and years more of joy behind the plate. A three-sport high school athlete, Andy's time at DeSoto High School resulted in a state tournament appearance, 12 varsity letters, and numerous postseason accolades that included back-to-back Conference Player of the Year awards in baseball. Andy brought his skills and versatility to Madison College, which was fresh off its first ever run to a national championship. MATC struggled to a 12-10 record to start the year, but turned around and won 22 of the next 24 games on their way to repeat NJCAA Division III national championships. Andy's role on the team grew as the season went on, culminating in a home run to help beat Waubonsee Community College by a score of 7-2 in the final of the winner-take-all title game. He finished the season with 34 hits and a .362 batting average to go along with 25 runs scored and 20 runs batted in. Andy also took the mound 3 times, including a pair of starts, and worked to 7 innings, struck out 14 batters, and walked none. Following that season, Andy was voted the recipient of the Coaches Award. Two-time defending national champ, MATC was the top-ranked team in the country in Andy's sophomore season. One of just 2 returning players, Andy stepped in to be a prominent role and didn't disappoint. While playing a very solid third base, Andy hit .372 with 51 hits, 47 runs batted in, and 41 runs scored. In addition, he went 2-0 in 3 appearances on the hill with 17 strikeouts and a 3.0 earned run average. The team rolled to a 38-7 record and recorded its 3rd consecutive national title while keeping their run at the WTCC, the WJCAA, and the Region 13 Crowns Live. Annie took home the Team Gold Glove Award that season, as well as all conference, all state, and all region honors. His biggest award, however, was being named NJCAA Second Team All-American. Andy was an all-around student athlete when he came out of the small town of DeSoto, Wisconsin, with a dream of playing college ball and then moving on to the next level or even higher. Andy had a great attitude and the drive that made him special. He was a quiet leader who went about his business to improve the team and himself. His work ethic never went unnoticed and was highly respected by his teammates. Andy left Madison to continue his playing career at the NCAA Division II Cameron University in Lawton, Oklahoma. He continued to play fair base and pitch for the Aggies. When his playing days were done, Andy continued to show his love for the game through umpiring and in coaching. He helped games for the youth level to the college to professional baseball, and he even spent 2 years as an instructor at the Jim Evans Academy of Professional Umpiring. Over his years behind the plate, Andy was recognized numerous times for his accomplishments and selected to umpire several All-Star games and postseason tournaments. He also spent 5 years coaching high school baseball and middle school basketball back in his hometown of DeSoto. Andy was also taken to the road as a truck driver for the past decade. He currently lives in Crescent, Minnesota, and spends his free time riding his motorcycle, going to casino, playing video games like MLB The Show 25. And he also was recently engaged. It was a beautiful wife to be, Heather. When asked about his time at Madison College, and he said, Madison College gave me an unforgettable memories and lessons in resilience and teamwork. During my time there, I grew not only in skill, but also in confidence and perseverance. The support of my coaches and peers pushed me to the best, and the lessons I learned remain some of the best and most meaningful in my life today. I even managed to hit a home run at the national tournament on a curveball, because coach was always on his case because he couldn't hit the curveball. Worked me in a great deal to keep my weight back and hit an off-speed pitch, and he actually did it in the tournament. There's also another story I like to talk about Andy. After I got done playing baseball, coaching baseball, I moved to North Carolina, and there was a minor league team there, the Asheville Tourists, I believe it was. And one Sunday morning, I woke up and saw it on the news, and it was the local manager on the minor league team just went off on this umpire. It was unbelievable. It was one of the top ones in ESPN for a while. And I says, God, that looks like Andy Russell. And I told my kid, I said, God, that's Andy Russell. I think I said, I can't be Andy, because I haven't heard from Andy in a long time, and I didn't know what he was doing. So I got the newspaper and everything else, and there was the coach standing right in the Andy's, and it said, umpire Andy Russell. Adam, you got something? Here we go. And there was Andy. Here's Coach Bickler.
I can't say what he's saying right now.
Probably complimenting you.
So lastly, I want to dedicate this honor to someone who truly shaped the player and the person I became. My coach, Leo Kalinowski. Leo, your intensity was unmatched. You demanded excellence. Not because you wanted perfection, but because you saw what we were capable of, even when we didn't. You had a rare ability to find players with raw potential and turn them into a team that could truly play the game the right way. You didn't just teach us how to win, you taught us why we should want to. You taught us discipline, resilience, and pride in the work we put in day after day. And because of that, we didn't just become better players, we became champions. Thank you, Leo, for believing in us, pushing us, and showing us what it really means to be a winner. Thank you very much.
Wow, that was awesome. Congrats, Andy.
Thanks.
Our fourth and final individual inductee tonight is Jess Pelzel. Presenting for Jess tonight is our current women's basketball assistant coach, Mike Mayfield. Mike, come on up.
Andy, I don't know you. Andy, that was great. You got me.
Thank you.
That was phenomenal. And I love baseball. Oh, yeah, that was phenomenal. So now I gotta come up here that was great. So thank you for sharing that with all of us.
I appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
So final, what's the job? Our final inductee took an already and highly successful Madison College women's basketball program to the top of the mountain. And in doing so, Jessica Pelzel, okay, achieved greatness and impacted countless lives. Jessica came to Madison College ahead of the 2006-07 school year, and was hired as a full-time physical education instructor and a women's basketball coach. She brought 2 years of experience as an assistant coach into her first head coaching gig, but inherited a program that had won 32 games and made back-to-back appearances at the NJCAA Division III National Tournament with 7 freshmen and 1 sophomore. The Wolfpack went 13-12 in her debut season, but did win the program's 5th consecutive WTCC title. Year 2 brought marked improvement with 25 wins and a championship in the the WTCC and the WJCAA. Madison College also won the Region 13 crown to return to the national tournament where they finished 4th. The upward trajectory continued in 2009 as the Pack again took the trifecta conference. Is that it? Okay. Wow. Okay. Of conference, state, and regional banners en route to the national tournament. After wins over Camden County and Monroe, the Wolfpack is playing for the national title against Rochester. Remember that? And Rochester Technical College on their home floor. Despite the loss, Madison College knew it was it was on the doorstep of greatness. The 2010 season will be remembered as Madison College for many reasons. Now part of the North Central Community College Conference in Region 4, the Wolfpack opened with a 10-game win streak and they closed with wins in 13 consecutive games, including Region 4 championship over Milwaukee Tech to qualify for their third straight national tournament. The Wolfpack was a class of the tournament in Rochester, dominating Winchester, Brookdale, and Ontonaga. Okay, that's close enough. By an average of a margin of victory of 21 points to win not only the program's first national championship, but also the first women's national title at Madison College. Their 31-3 final record marked the third time in school history with 30 or more wins. I have to do some speaking. I actually have to separate that. Just the program remained highly competitive over the next 6 seasons, averaging better than 19 wins a season, incorporating in the Region 4 championship in 2016. A season that saw the Wolfpack return to the #1 spot in the national polls for 9 weeks. Jessica left Madison College after 10 seasons with 211 wins, the second most in program history, and a 694 winning percentage. She led the Wolfpack to one national championship, four region crowns, 4 conference titles, and 2 state championships. She was rewarded with four region Coach of the Year honors and 2 WJCAA Coach of the Year accolades. Jessica coached 5 NJCAA All-Americans, 10 All-Region recipients, and 23 All-Conference selections to go along with the 1 NJCAA tournament most valuable player. 3 JCAA All-Tournament honorees and 2 Region 4 tournament most valuable players. Her time at Madison College also included a brief stint as the head softball coach, leading the Wolfpack to 14 wins over 1.5 seasons. Those years yielded 3 All-Region selections and 2 All-Conference picks. A great quote. I enjoy working with Jess and watching her son grow up in Algeria to see current Madison College director of athletics, Jason Burroughs. Not only is she a successful basketball coach, she is more importantly a great person. Jess has always been an ambassador for women's basketball and for Madison College, even as AD at Anoka Ramsey. Proud to have her in our Madison College Athletic Hall of Fame. After Madison College, Jessica returned to her home state of Minnesota to coach the Anoka Ramsey Community College. After 6 years, my apology, after 6 years as an assistant coach, she became the head coach in 2021. 1 season, and then was hired as director of athletics in 2022. She currently lives in Elk River, Minnesota, with her wife Anne and their son Keith. In her free time, she enjoys golfing and watching Keith play sports. When asked about her time at Madison College, Jessica said, "I am grateful for the opportunity that Steve Hausen gave me when he took a chance and hired me. He gave me the opportunity to prove myself, and their words to explain how much it always has been about student athletes, and without them, I would not be where I am today, or being able to accomplish all we did. Seeing them succeed now as adults, parents, and partners makes me more proud of anything we accomplished." At this time, please join me in congratulating Jessica on her introduction to the Madison College Hall of Fame.
Jason knows better than to put me first. First of all, thank you very much. This honor is unreal to be inducted into the Hall of Fame with the rest of the great coaches that have been here that I get to know on a personal basis is crazy. I'm certainly honored and humbled. Congrats to the athletes as well. I wouldn't be standing here if there wasn't athletes, and one of mine in the back is crazy to even see her here. But first, and I said it in my quote, Steve Hauser took a chance on some punk who literally coached for 2 years at St. Ben's, like, sort of. And so, thank goodness for the Minnesota connection there. And bringing me here as, you know, what was I, 28? Yikes. A couple years ago. But a couple years ago, you know, so it's crazy to me to think back to that first year coming off. They had such a successful season the year before, and I'm like, oh, great, now they're going to hire me, now what are we going to do? And the former head coach introduced me to this guy in my hotel lobby. His name was Mike Mayfield. Oh my God, best thing I've ever had happen to me, seriously. I would never be up here without him. His gabillion miles he's driven to watch players and say, hey, you got to see this girl. I'm like, why? She's so good. I know we can get her. We can talk to her. No, you talk to her. I'll finish it, whatever we have to do. That's just what he did, and that's how we got kids. He'd drive and drive and drive. Find a kid in New Glarus, find a kid everywhere. Hey, we're in Mineral Point again. Like, why? We don't get kids from there. Stop. And then we got one all of a sudden. So without him, there's no way this would happen. And just so thankful for his friendship over the years. We still talk regularly. Women's basketball team needs a game quick last week. Call Mike and say, please. So I wouldn't be here without you, so thank you so much. Second, my family. I couldn't have done this. You know, we had Keaton here, but right at the beginning of the season, like, who does that? Especially when you keep playing it like we did. Nonetheless, we had him the night before a game, and I will never forget the technical that happened that next day because Denise didn't sneak a person I didn't put in the book in. And I was a little tired. I hadn't been asleep yet. I was newborn, and all my family here. But they let me do it. And so being able to be gone all the time and having a newborn, at the time, he spent 6 years here, and you know, I mean, having him gave me a whole different perspective on everything, including what these players were, which were kids, all of a sudden mine, and then I had my own. It was weird. So I'll never forget Keaton's first basket he ever made on the 10-foot hoop was with one of the men's players while the girls were warming up. And all of a sudden there's screaming going on and nobody was paying attention to a word I was saying. They were all watching him and the men's player shoot on the side basket because he was getting so close to making it. Of course I didn't see it. Why would I look at it? But first ever basket made in the Madison College gym. We were back last year to watch practice and there he goes with basketball on the same basket. I was like, oh wow, this is kind of crazy. 14 years later, here we are. So many things, you know, he wanted to always come with me to practice, to games, not for me, he wanted to see the players. I think he could care less if I was there. He wanted to hang out with the men's players, he wanted to be right next to Coach Vesterdahl, and so that just became a thing. You know, I'm excited to finally coached him all the way up through youth sports, and he's now a high schooler, so thankfully I get to be mom on the sideline. I don't know what crazy kind of person that is, but we'll find out very soon. Trying not to coach from the mom sideline. But, so I'm excited, but also my mom is here, but my parents for just saying, hey, try it. You know what, go out there. I know it's far from home. Heck yeah, it was far from home. And now I've got one sister that stayed here after I left. So we come out here quite often. I already mentioned it, but he's not here, Scott Westerdahl. I don't even know if I'd stayed if it wasn't for him talking me off ledges on bus rides home, while Coach Mayfield was sleeping under his jacket. But just being able to talk to him and a friend, dad, but somebody who I can always confide in, like, I don't know what to do. Like, I seriously do not know what to do. What do I do with this kid? Okay, well, here's what I do. Okay, that's what I'm going to do because he did it right. And so, getting me to climb up Camelback Mountain in Arizona. All the things that made us better. I don't know, it made my knees bleed when I fell down because it's got to go the hardest part. But those lessons today, there's still some Scott Westerdahl in the back of my head of what he would do and whatnot. So I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to him because I don't know that I've made it 10 years without him right there. And I joked earlier that that's why I left in 2016 because he retired. I'm not doing this without it. It was because somebody was going to be a kindergartner. We had to figure out where we were going to be, Minnesota or Wisconsin. But the student athletes, I mean, obviously that's why I was here. And this belongs as much to them as it does to me. I don't play the games. Heck, half the time they didn't even listen to me. So without them, I wouldn't be here. And so, all the work they did on the court, in the classroom, they sacrificed, they committed, they bought into what we were doing, and good grief, they made me look good. Yes, that's part of it. I've always taken their dedication seriously. I knew it was a lot, and I couldn't thank them enough because I'm not here if they're not here. And so this is just as much for them as it is for me. It's been super cool to see them, not just as players, but grow into fantastic mothers, partners, professionals. People, that's the true reward. I mean, I could care less what they did on the court. Half the time I would rather not what they did on the court. And I love seeing Facebook and being able to stay connected with all of them and see them all with their kids and what they're doing in life. Going from being crazy on the court to, being one of the top firefighters in Milwaukee, to teaching in front of small children. Like, I never saw some of them doing that. But I'm thankful that the lessons they learned at Madison College followed them into their lives, and that's what makes me proud, is seeing them do what they're doing. Leaving Madison was hard. Well, this is not an easy decision. Because it wasn't just a job, it was home. 10 years is a long time. The worst part of leaving was becoming an assistant coach at another Ramsey and playing Madison College in the first game that I ever coached, not at Madison College. I'm going to tell you, the scout was super easy because most of them were my kids that I had recruited, so I'd seen them play a billion times. So that was easy. But sitting on the other bench, looking down at Coach Mayfield, knowing the thoughts going through his head, while they were coming out of my mouth on the other bench, wasn't easy. And it was a couple of years that we did that in a row. I don't know why, but kept doing it. And luckily, our women's team gets to play Madison College again this year. Without me on the bench, thank goodness, because now I can secretly cheer for anybody I want and nobody will know. But I think, while I was playing, that just brought back all the special memories. I mean, obviously the national championship is something I won't forget, but it's a friendships made here. I mean, I can walk anywhere in Madison and hear, "Hello, Jessica," and it's Big Dolly is way on the other end of something I can't see him, but he can see me. Being able to reconnect with everybody as an athletic director, getting to sit next to Jason for a few days at the NJCAA National Convention. Something I never imagined, obviously, but it was really cool to reconnect and figure out, some things. And it's actually when I was told about this randomly at that conference. And being able to just hang out on a professional level, pick his brain about things, and figure out how I can get better in my position by what he's doing, and trying to model what we're doing after what's being done here. So I would never host two Hall of Fames close together. One's enough. But this induction is not at all a reflection of what I've done. It's an absolute reflection of who I've been able to do it with. And I couldn't have asked for better coworkers. I couldn't have asked for better players, better staff, people who've been alongside me. So I just thank Madison College for giving me a chance when I was young to be able to grow into the person I am today. And I am so thankful and grateful for this honor. So thank you.
All right, another round of applause. Congrats, Jess. Congrats for all our. So I know the Brewers are playing pretty soon, so we'll be quick. But our department. Sorry, we got the wrong thing. Sorry, 1 second. We dumped the page before I was ready. All right, so to wrap up tonight, I would like to inform everybody about some upcoming special events. So we have a chock-full alumni weekend, and I'm going to kind of give you the lowdown of not only the alumni weekend, but some other special events coming up. So this is our first day of our new alumni weekend celebration. Tonight, obviously, we did our Hall of Fame inductions. Tomorrow night, we're hosting an event named after Big Dogs. So it's a Big Dogs alumni social. It's at By-10s from 6 to 8. We would love to see you there. If you haven't registered already, you can do so at the door. Hope also we can continue to grow this weekend. We have home events in all our sports. This is the first time we've done that, except for golf and esports again. So we have all our events over the next 2 days, so tomorrow and Saturday, for alumni to come back and watch, and the general public to attend. So we hope to see you, whether it's on the court, on the pitch, or on the field. Our 4th annual Wolfies, you can think of them as the Oscars or the ESPYs. It is a student athlete advisory committee organized event celebrating our current teams and student athletes. That'll take place this year on Thursday, April 23rd in the Midby Theater on our Madison College Truex campus. Crazy enough, it's already our 29th annual Reds Day Golf Classic. That's on Wednesday, May 20th, bless you, at the Oaks Golf Course. This annual event honors the memory of the late Doug Redston, who devoted 30 years to students and alumni as a teacher, coach, and administrator at Madison College. Proceeds from that event go to student scholarships. And then finally, we're giving you a year advance notice here. Next year's alumni weekend will be on Thursday, October 8th through Saturday, October 10th. And that'll with our second team induction. So Jesse talked about doing 2 Hall of Fames in 6 months. We're moving the Hall of Fames to the fall. And last spring we inducted our first team, so we'll do our second team this next year. So hope you can make all these, or hope you can make some of these, and you can put them on your calendar. For more information on all these events and our Wolfpack games, you can visit MadisonCollegeathletics.com. Adam, you want to hit the slide? So our department moved to Division II, NJCAA Division II in sports in 2023. Much of our focus since then about making the transition is increasing student athlete scholarships. The scholarship funding for our schools in Division II runs the gamut, both regionally and nationally. A perfect example, an example that I bring up often, is our 2022 baseball team, led by Coach Davenport, which finished as national runners-up with just over four full fundraised scholarships. Well, the team we played in that national tournament game had 24 full tuition waiver scholarships. So additionally, our fellow Region 4 schools in Illinois offer tuition waivers, whereas we do not in Wisconsin, so we forge forward to fundraise scholarships every single year. In our first year in Division II, across all 8 sports, our department provided $48,000 in athletic scholarships, with teams also able to supplement that through their own fundraising efforts. We're pleased to announce that in 26-27, our department will provide over $102,000 in athletic scholarships. That's a 112% increase over the first year, so that's pretty awesome. So this year, through a collaborative agreement with our international office, we have also provided 4 international student athletes with waivers. These are not full tuition waivers, but they're tuition waivers from out of state to in-state. So that is awesome as well. So while we continue to make strides, we can't do it without the support of our alumni and friends of the department, such as Steve Schmidt. So at our Spring Hall of Fame induction, Steve Schmidt, who is the owner of the Madison Mallards and a former Madison College alum, offered a generous donation of $6,000, which will cover one scholarship for this year. Examples like this, and in addition to our in-person events such as this one, we continue to kind of double down on our alumni outreach by incorporating alumni relations into job duties of 2 of my colleagues, Chris Mills and Angel Whetstone. We continue to focus on alumni. On the slide, you can see several of the efforts that we've undertaken to raise scholarship money. And speaking of that, there are QR codes on the table for those of you that wish to donate, or you can visit wolfpackscholarships.com. So it is often said that the athletic department is the front yard of the college. If the athletic department is successful and competes with class and grit, it is a source of pride for college employees, the student body, and the community. Athletics is also a driver of enrollment. 80% of our student athletes surveyed stated that the opportunity to play sport at the college significantly influenced their decision to attend Madison College. Additionally, 2/3 of our student athletes attended Madison College for our sports programs, driving over 80 full-time students to the college. I expect that number to continue to grow with the addition of more student athlete scholarships. Student athletes practice and compete on average 6 days per week during a season. A typical baseball player spends 915 hours during the academic year on their sport. While this time commitment demonstrates their work ethic in the sport, they also spend countless hours achieving academic success in the classroom and giving back to the community through community service projects, as well as camps and clinics for young people. With such a significant time commitment, it's almost impossible for them to hold a job, so the athletic scholarships are a huge help. Investing in quality helps them achieve athletic and academic goals, just like our Hall of Fame recipients tonight. To me, our student athletes are a phenomenal investment, so I encourage you to spread the word and also give if you're able. So, I would be remiss again, I mentioned this in the spring, and it's an exciting agreement, significant agreement that our department recently signed. Starting this fall, Madison College Athletics is an Adidas college. This agreement, like our scholarship offerings, continue to make Madison College a very attractive destination for recruits. We'll communicate even more and try to get some more gear out to everybody over the next year, but we're excited to have that agreement in place. So finally, my last page here. Brewer game just started. But seriously, thank you so much to everybody that came tonight. Congratulations to all the inductees. It was awesome seeing some that I haven't seen in a long time. So once again, congratulations. Please help us to continue to make Madison College Athletics one of the premier athletic programs in the Midwest. Thank you for joining us tonight. Drive home safely, and as always, go Wolfpack. So there is, Adam wanted some pictures up front, so if you're an inductee, please come on up front. We also have some inductees posters. There's cake in the back, and there's also a bar next door, just FYI.